Welcome to another episode of English Podcast for Beginners. Imagine walking into a bustling cafe, and all you hear around you is English conversations flowing, the clink of coffee cups, and laughter echoing in the air. You're absorbing the language without even trying. Now, picture yourself in that very scene, confidently participating in the conversation, understanding everything, and responding effortlessly. That's the power of training your brain to think in English. You're already on your way to fluency. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the podcast and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And hey, drop a comment letting me know where you're tuning in from and what time it is in your part of the world. Now, take a deep breath, relax, and let's dive into this learning journey together. To begin, let's talk about the foundation of thinking in English. The idea of translating your thoughts from your native language into English. This is often a stumbling block for many learners. You might find yourself thinking in your first language and then struggling to translate those thoughts into English before speaking. But here's the catch. This kind of translation often makes us slow and unsure. The goal is to break free from translation and learn how to think directly in English. So, how do you do that? One effective method is through mental translation exercises. Start with simple things around you, look at objects, and try to name them in English. For example, if you're looking at a coffee cup, think coffee cup, not café. Next, try to form full sentences in your head using what you see. I'm drinking coffee. Do this throughout your day. Describe your surroundings, your actions, even your feelings. You're training your brain to bypass your first language. And trust me, it works. But wait, there's another quirky method that might sound a bit odd but is super effective. Think in English while doing everyday activities. Imagine you're grocery shopping. Instead of thinking, I need to buy tomatoes, say to yourself in English, I'm picking up some tomatoes. The key here is to challenge yourself to think in English at any moment. It might feel a bit strange at first, but soon you'll notice your brain adapting and starting to operate in English more naturally. Some argue that speaking first is the best way to learn a language. And I get it, speaking can be a great way to build fluency. But if you're not ready to speak just yet, thinking in English can be an equally powerful foundation. It's the first step toward making English a natural part of your thought process. Let's keep the momentum going. Remember when I mentioned thinking in English while you were out shopping or walking down the street? Now, let's take it a step further. Surrounding yourself with English is one of the most powerful ways to immerse yourself in the language. Think about it. If you're constantly hearing and seeing English around you, your brain starts picking it up without you even realizing. It's like the language is getting woven into the fabric of your daily life. Start by consuming English media. Watch movies, TV shows, or YouTube videos in English. But here's the twist. Don't just watch them passively. Actively engage. Put the subtitles on in English, of course, and focus on the words you don't understand. Pause the video and try to guess their meanings based on the context, or better yet, mimic the dialogue out loud. It's like practicing without anyone even knowing you're doing it. Bonus points if you imitate the accents and pronunciations. But let's get a little creative here. Why not listen to your favorite songs in English? And then try singing along. It might sound silly, but by matching the lyrics to the melody, you'll practice the rhythm of the language, improve your pronunciation, and expand your vocabulary without even realizing it. Some learners argue that listening to music is a too casual way of learning. But honestly, there's something about the melody that can lock words into your memory. You don't need to be a singing pro. Just have fun with it. Now, we can't forget social media, it's everywhere, right? But here's where you can get creative with it. Start following English-speaking influencers or creators whose content speaks to you, whether it's travel, cooking, or fitness. Immerse yourself in content that excites you. But in English, you can read comments, participate in online conversations, or even start interacting in English. Social media is not just for mindless scrolling. It's a great tool to practice thinking and engaging in English. Some learners feel overwhelmed by the idea of consuming so much media in English, thinking that it'll be too difficult. But trust me, once you're surrounded by English regularly, the words, expressions, and cultural context will start to stick, and before you know it, you'll be thinking in English more often than not. Now that you've started thinking in English and surrounding yourself with it, let's get into one of the most powerful ways to boost your fluency: speaking out loud. I know it might feel intimidating, especially if you're not confident in your speaking skills yet, but trust me, speaking is a game changer. It's one thing to understand English in your head, but it's another to speak it out loud, and doing so helps reinforce everything you're learning. Start small. Begin by talking to yourself in English throughout the day. It might sound odd at first, but talking aloud in English helps you build muscle memory for speaking the language. Whether you're making breakfast or getting ready for work, narrate what you're doing. I'm cooking eggs. I'm putting on my shoes. Or I'm looking at my phone. The more you do it, the more natural it'll become. Soon, your thoughts and speech will flow more freely, and you'll feel more comfortable when you have to speak English in real-life situations. Another method is practicing monologues. Pick a topic you're interested in and speak about it for 1 to 2 minutes in English. You could talk about your day, your favorite movie, or a recent trip. The goal is to practice speaking fluently without worrying about making mistakes. Keep in mind, mistakes are part of the process, so don't let them hold you back. The more you speak out loud, the more confident you'll feel in your abilities. Some learners argue that speaking should be left until later in the process. But honestly, the earlier you start speaking, the more comfortable you'll become. Now, let's get a little quirky. Try recording yourself speaking in English, then listen back to it. It's a bit uncomfortable at first, I know, but hearing yourself speak is an excellent way to spot areas for improvement. Maybe you'll notice you're struggling with certain sounds or that you use certain filler words too much. This is a fantastic way to tune into your progress and fine-tune your pronunciation. It might feel a little awkward at first, but soon, it'll become a fun way to track your growth. Some people argue that you don't need to practice speaking if you can already understand English. But if you really want to think in English and speak it fluently, you have to actively practice speaking. Remember, the brain works better when you engage all the senses, and speaking out loud brings the language to life. By now, you're starting to think in English. Surround yourself with it, and even speak aloud to boost your fluency. But what's next? How do you overcome the fear and hesitation that creeps in when you're learning a new language? Well, here's the truth. Mistakes are not only inevitable, they're essential to your progress. The fear of making mistakes often holds learners back. But let me tell you, embracing those mistakes is one of the most powerful steps you can take. First, let's talk about that feeling of dread that comes with speaking incorrectly. I get it, it's uncomfortable to mess up, especially when you're worried about what others will think. But here's the kicker. Everyone makes mistakes, even the most fluent speakers. Every time you make a mistake, you're tweaking your pronunciation, adjusting your grammar, and getting better. So, give yourself permission to fail. If you say the wrong word, don't beat yourself up. Just correct it and move on. The more you practice, the fewer mistakes you'll make, and the faster you'll improve. But let's get creative. A quirky method for conquering your fear is using role play. This might sound like something straight out of an acting class, but it works wonders for building confidence. Find a dialogue or scene from a movie or TV show, and then act it out in front of a mirror or with a friend. This helps you practice speaking in a relaxed, judgment-free environment, and you get to do it while being someone else for a little while. It's like a safe space where mistakes aren't mistakes, they're part of the game. Some learners argue that it's better to wait until you're perfect before speaking in public. But I'd challenge that notion. The truth is, there's no perfect. You'll never speak English perfectly because language is always evolving. Instead of worrying about being flawless, focus on communicating. Language is about connection, and mistakes don't stop communication. They make it more real and relatable. By allowing yourself to make mistakes and embracing them as learning opportunities, you're taking a huge step in becoming more comfortable with the language. It's all part of the journey, so don't be afraid to fall. Get up and keep going. Now that you've tackled thinking in English, surrounded yourself with the language, started speaking out loud, and embraced your mistakes, let's focus on the final key ingredient: consistency. Language learning is a marathon, not a sprint, and the only way to keep making progress is by practicing regularly. But here's the good news: you don't have to make it boring or feel like a chore. With the right mindset and a little creativity, you can make learning English an enjoyable part of your daily routine. One mainstream method for staying consistent is to set small, achievable goals. For example, you could commit to learning 5 new words a day or watching 1 short video in English every morning. These small victories add up, and before you know it, you've made incredible progress without even realizing it. Start by making a habit of practicing English every day. Even if it's just for 10 minutes, you'd be surprised at how much you can improve with just a little bit of effort each day. But here's where the fun part comes in. Make it enjoyable. You don't have to stick to traditional study methods all the time. Find activities that you love and incorporate English into them. For example, if you enjoy cooking, find an English language recipe and try to follow it while learning new vocabulary related to food. Or if you're into gaming, play games in English and try to use in-game chat to communicate with others. By combining language learning with your hobbies, you'll stay engaged and motivated. Some people argue that consistency is key to success, but others believe that if you're not passionate about what you're doing, you'll burn out. And while passion is important, I think it's the combination of consistency and enjoyment that really makes a difference. If you're enjoying the process, you won't even realize how much you're learning, and that's when the magic happens. As you continue on your English journey, remember this: the more consistent you are, the more natural English will feel in your daily life. So, find ways to make learning fun, keep pushing yourself a little bit each day, and watch your confidence grow. So, here we are at the end of this episode, and I hope you're feeling a little bit more confident in your ability to think in English. Remember, it's all about consistency, enjoying the process, and embracing every step along the way, even the mistakes. The more you practice, the more you'll realize that English is becoming second nature to you. Take a deep breath, relax, and know that you're well on your way to fluency. You've got this, and I'm excited to hear about your progress. So, let's keep it up, one step at a time. Thank you for joining me today. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you found this episode helpful. See you next time on your English learning journey. Keep those thoughts in English. And take care.